Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome at Hindsight TV, bringing you tonight the game between Flatliners and Working as Intended. Flatliners, it's the first game of them being cast today, or ever really, in Tribes Ascent. So, what do you guys think about the teams today?
I'm very interested to see how this game plays out, because we've had Working as Intended versus a couple of these sort of vet teams. And Flats, I think, is going to be another interesting one, because they used to be #1. I mean, let's not forget they do have a history. But if they can't hold their own today, it's probably not a good sign for them.
So what's this history you were about?
They were, for a very brief period, #1 on the Tribes 2 base ladder, defeating IDK, I believe, on Katabatic, and I can't remember what other map it was. A long time ago.
Certainly a good memory you got there, Alex.
Huh?
Certainly a good memory you got there. I couldn't remember what maps they played all that time ago. What was it, about 8 years ago now?
Yeah, well, the point is it was Katabatic, I remember that. They had Aircon and Shadow Raid striking.
Okay, well, tonight you can hear a Loach and Miri.
Hello.
Hello. And tonight a special guest also, Exitjudas.
Hello. How are you?
Exitjudas, can you tell something about yourself?
I'm an old T1, T2 player from Europe. Played for Sons of Odin a long time ago, and I've joined up with Hindsight, playing a lot of matches here the last couple of months, and thoroughly enjoying the game.
But not the team, right?
Well, yeah, you know, that's goes without saying.
EJ tends to have a pretty interesting take on things. Very analytical mind. I think we'll have a lot of more interesting things to say than me or Miri today.
And I think you could say that EJ is really the secret brains between, well, not between, behind the Hindsight machine. He's not between the Hindsight machine, because that would probably be quite painful.
Yeah, I like
I'm here as well. Hi. Like this.
And yeah, of course we have, as usual, our guest,
#1 esports manager.
That's right.
and #1 guest.
Esports
Hello,
Bart.
Europe. Good evening. Esports.
So-
Okay, I'll take that.
So, Esports Bart, any news on this patch?
It's going to be really neato.
Really neat, alright?
We're going to get more
Yeah.
fish.
Maybe a couple more fish here and there. A little more jumping. A little more lively fish.
So, Jumper is getting buffed in the patch, you say?
No, the fish are getting better jump.
You heard it here first.
The fish or
Massive
jumping?
jumper buffs.
We're giving all the
More
fish
jumping
blink
for
packs.
everybody.
Really?
Fish with blink backs.
Oh man.
Is Ninja Unheard Samurai, by the way? Oh no, that's Samurai Ray there.
No.
Oh, that's someone else than you then.
No, that's a caster from America.
Oh. Oh.
So what makes these guys so special that they get an American caster as well? Transatlantic casting going on here.
I don't know if he's. I don't think he's casting, or he's a streamer. I don't think he's casting.
Oh, okay.
I'll ask him to pop out real quick. Or you're probably listening.
You can stay, I guess.
Yeah, once we're going.
Alright, cool. Anyway, on that subject though, the jumper, I think that really should get buffed. Would be very fun to play. There's a million things you could do to make it really cool. Miri, what's your favourite thing about the jumper?
I've got to be honest, it's the only class in this game I have not played so far.
Okay, so your favourite thing about it is not using it.
Indeed. I just sort of saw it as a fairly redundant class, being that it's sort of like a Pathfinder, but without the energy pack and with a worse weapon, as far as I saw it. I mean, not having played it, that might be a really bad and crude sort of disservice to the class. I know you've played a lot of it. Loach, what are your thoughts on the class?
I think jumper's hilarious. My favourite part is when you see a guy coming in to grab on your team, you just hit the jump pack, grab the flag at like slow speed, and then you're not really going anywhere. But the sound that came out of bins yesterday was hilarious. So.
Well, talking about jumping, let's jump over to the roster for tonight.
Okay, actually I have to turn the light back on for that. For Working as Intended, who I believe will be playing on Diamond Sword today, we have, as usual, Streen and Johnny, usually tend to be capping for them. Mono seems to be a bit of a fixture for the Working as Intended team lately, with his rather dull voice. Greth and a new face, Samurai, replacing Fanva. We're not sure about Samurai, except that he used to be a natural selection player, so shout out to all you natural selection players there. Arcadizzle is going to be sniping as usual, and Hentai Master in his Shrike, along with MVC completing the roster. And for Flatliners, who will be playing on Balanced Eagles this evening, we have Ale, Gene Stealer, Mobius, who's likely to be sniping, Bio, who I believe is the current leader, although I'm not sure how long that will be the case, Vice Lord, who's infamous for his shock lancing antics in Tribes 2, although I believe he's going to be capping this evening, Solachi, who used to play for Eclipse and now is with Flatliners, Adroa Shrieking, who was actually a member of the #1 Flatliners team, and I think Hauser is going to be number 8 for them, also known as Chaos Theory.
It's interesting. Where did you hear that Viceroy was going to be capping? Because I would have thought with having Ale and Hauser, they'd have 2 fairly set cappers for this game.
This could just be that my rumour mill is all wrong. Because Ale told me himself, yeah, so
okay.
We'll see what comes of that. Actually, yeah, with Hauser being introduced, they might actually remove Vice Lord's capping role. What do you think of that anyway? I mean, do you think that would have worked well? I could really see it being the next big thing.
What, shock lance capping?
Shock lance capping, yeah. You come in from behind, obviously back to front all the time, and then you do some kind of melee move and get straight out.
I'd love to see it. I'd definitely love to see it. Well, I think that they definitely needed, from their first game, another dedicated capper, so bringing in Hauser could have been a really good move for the team.
Oh yeah, I think it's good. He's done well in mix lately, actually. He's had some experience tossing the flag now, which has really helped for him. I noticed in the course of one game, he went from being able to not throw it at all to do like perfect flag passing, so he should be pretty strong for them. I'm not sure what map we're starting on today, by the way.
Oh yeah,
I think it should be Crossfire.
Okay, cool. So we've got all well then. Yeah. It should be an interesting team with the Flatliners group. I mean, we've only seen them. I mean, Mim said they hadn't played, but they've played one game, which was.
Yeah, well, I said not casted. It's the first time they've casted. Yes.
I mean, they played against us, and although I mean they've obviously got a lot of skilled players, they didn't seem to have that sort of level of organisation. But I understand that Ale has really been trying to whip them into shape. And you said they'd been on the server for a good 6 or 7 hours today.
No, well, they were definitely on the server when I joined, and they seemed to be practicing their defense against their offense, and just, I guess, trying to get a few things nailed down before the game, which is never a bad thing.
I expect we'll see both teams capping in Scrambler today, as usual. EJ.
Yeah.
Claiming to sort of, well, not invented Scrambler capping, but definitely helped in its proliferation.
Popularised, you might say.
Yeah. What do you think of Scrambler capping?
Well, as always, I'm pretty straightforward about these things. I think it's slightly up, to be honest. I really like the dynamics. I like the way that a difficult move like an optimized wide-out throw for gaining speed is, sort of balanced by the risk of using it, and I think that's super fun. I also like how it's balanced by the way the scrambler needs to stay on his route. He can very easily lose momentum, so it's sort of a it's difficult to use. However, it's slightly up because people get so extremely good at it that they make very few mistakes, and when they have sort of optimized their routes, they can go 300 plus, and that's at least until now we haven't seen anybody who's able to stop that. And with the shall we say lack of really efficient chasing in the game, it sort of turns the dynamics of the whole game on its head.
I definitely agree with all those points. I think it's got a higher skill curve to learn, maybe, but it's got a much higher top end as well.
Yeah,
effectiveness.
It's the point I was going to make, that I think that even though it is undoubtedly really strong in the sense that you can come in and I guess you call it like a half cloak because you're greyed out, and especially on maps like Katabatic, especially where it's white, it's really hard to see. But on the other hand, there's a lot like that you give up being a scrambler to actually gain those things. So it's sort of like a risk-reward scenario that you were talking about, and I think that it's not just as overpowered as people say. It takes work to actually get good at it.
Yep. Although I would say that the thing is, it's kind of like there are two sort of facets to it. Its strength, everyone's like, well, you can't see it on the grab. The speed is as good as anything else. That's fine, right? But also, you don't suffer the penalty of losing health every time you gain your own speed, like you do with Ranger or Pathfinder.
Yeah.
I mean, so if the health was reduced or like they took more damage from the flash, do we think that would balance it, or would it be worth trading off like the extra? You gain the extra health, but you don't no longer so invisible on the grab, as it were. Like you don't have that extra bonus. Because I mean, the game isn't balanced, I think, around people being hard to see when they grab. Like at the moment, I think the big problem with the game is it's balanced around people capping in Pathfinder, which are relatively easier to see coming, and also die in one hit from a thumper, basically, or you know, one thumper basically neutralizes that grab. And the whole medium capping thing really is like ruining the balance of the game at the moment, I'd say. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I agree completely with that sentiment. And especially, you know, it's difficult to talk about balance with these issues because the balance, you know, you can find balance all kinds of places, but it also depends a lot on what kind of game style you really want out of competitive tribes. So if you allow people these really high speeds and these clean grabs, you get a whole different dynamic and a whole different game. And it could be balanced to a certain extent, you know. Obviously, if you when you talk about balance, you think about everybody using all the classes just as much and no class being a niche class. Well, that's one kind of balance, and I'm not sure that's really interesting to see balance in that line. But I definitely think with the current situation where clean grabs can bring you all the way home if you're really, really good. We need to think about whether that's the kind of game we really want, or whether we really, you know, I've heard a lot of people say we really like the chasing that was part of the old Tribes games.
Yeah.
Think about that.
One of the things to really consider when you talk about classes and balance and everything, it's kind of a dangerous thing to get into, because at the moment it's very easy to forget that we're still playing a game that is in beta and is in a state of transition, and so much will change between now and release, and especially with the classes, because so far as I'm aware, HiRez are intending to implement more classes.
And the customization system, so that will change a lot as well.
Indeed, yeah. And I think in like my experience of games generally, that the ones that try to be the most balanced tend to have the most boring gameplay. I don't know what you think about that, EJ.
Well, I think one of the things, this is exactly the point. If we try to balance the game and only look for that, it's going to get boring. The balance we have right now is that you're so fast as a scrambler, a really good one, that you end up at your own base, and the game is all about getting clean grabs and then basically clustering around your flag on the others and trying to return it. So you get a lot of clustering, a lot of chain gunfire, and somebody returns, and that's it. You don't really see anything. Now, that's pretty boring. If you remove that really speed grab type of situation and lead back to, shall we say, basic old school chasing with lower speeds, and you maybe nerf chain gunfire, you'll sort of point people in the direction of chasing the cappers and using their disc launchers and so on to shoot. That will change the whole, shall we say, mechanic of the game, and that will make it very different to watch compared to right now, where you watch chain gunfire and a lot of people clumping around the flags. You will suddenly see chasing and people using explosives, and you know that old school trying to interpret where your target is in 2 seconds and hitting that. And I think that would be a much more interesting game to watch. And I think that's what they should move for. And think about balance, think about that secondarily.
Yeah, I definitely think the current game, where the flags come off the stands very easily and there's a lot of midfield action and covering and cluster action, is exciting to watch in some ways. But it's very, very frustrating for defenders to play, I think. I mean, where there's the situation where a lot of the time you can see a capper coming and you could hit him once and he still gets through. Because he's in medium, and he's got insane speed. That's frustrating. But I still think we can have chasing back without necessarily crippling the speed. Because I mean, there's elements of chasing in the game at the moment. They just tend to be following through once his flag isn't home and he's at his stand exposed. Then the chase counts then, or on these like long routes where you can intercept.
I think the big thing with chasing is like gaining initial momentum, because it's quite easy to build up high speeds, but it really takes a long time to do it. Without like the disc jump being, as powerful as arguably, Tribes 1 and Tribes 2 veterans would like it to be.
I definitely think that's a good idea.
I also think coming back to making it interesting, basic things like it's not as interesting to watch chink on fire as it is to watch a big blue shiny missile that somebody aimed and has to predict where it lands. So right now that's not very feasible in competitive tribes. Well, you do it to sort of finish people off, or when you go really close with the thumper. Then again, you can't really see the thumper, so that's a bit boring as well. I'm missing that high-speed chase with discs, where you could actually see people predicting the shot. You could see the missile aiming towards a place and see how the kappa and the missile sort of hit each other, and that just looks good on camera. We just don't get that right now because people are just shooting these streams of high-speed bullets at each other.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Actually, we'll come back to this because the game's about to start, but I think we've got a lot still to talk about here, really.
Yeah, it seems everyone is on the server right now. I guess Bart will be asking pretty soon if the both teams are ready.
There we go, everyone says yes.
I can't see Bart's chat, by the way.
I can. Maybe you've got Bart and ignored, perhaps.
Oh, maybe. I think that's the thing.
So many broken dreams,
Please don't ignore me.
Okay, for anyone who's just turned in on Hindsight TV, welcome tonight. We're gonna see Flatliners versus Working as Intended. Two Europe teams doing a scrimmage in Tribes Ascent, a very fast-paced FPS shooter, currently in closed beta. Bart, any information how you can get a key?
Of course. So if you are just tuning into the stream and you want a key, you want to play Tribes Ascend, head over to tribesascend.com to get the game client, and you can like Tribes Ascend on Facebook to get yourself a key, or visit your favorite video game message board or community or what have you. They will certainly have some. I am HiRezBart. I'm casting here out of the HiRez Studios in Atlanta, Georgia. Happy to have you all. Hello, Europe. Hope you guys enjoy the game. I'm going to give it over to the casters now from Team Hindsight. Gentlemen, it's all yours.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we'll be going into the first map, Crossfire, where Working as Intended will be playing Diamond Sword, and Flatliners will be playing Blood Eagles. They're playing the same sides in every map today. What do you think of that, man?
I think we've been seeing this quite a lot lately in all scrimmage, both Europe and the US, I guess.
Easy choice, I suppose.
Easy choices, yeah. No hassle with the switching around and stuff.
I think even with the added, increased countdown timer at the start of the game, it's just a thing of if someone joins the wrong team, it causes a delay in the start of the game, and if that's your, key offense player who's supposed to be making a grab and you're 20 seconds behind, it can be a big, thing to miss out on. So you want to just have everybody join the right team straight away, and it's easy, isn't it, to be on the same side for all the maps?
Yep.
I think really it only really has an impact on two maps, which is Qatar and Dry Dock, where I think the sides are quite imbalanced.
Yeah.
So most of the time it's not really a problem.
No, especially on maps like Crossfire, where it's it's not exactly the same, but it's ostensibly speaking, it's more or less.
And the game is off.
Okay. So we see on the KPH side, the Flatliner side, Vice Lord of Joy and Gene Stealer of the defense, along with Mobius, who will be sniping as usual. So 4 and 4, I think, again. And on the way side, there's only 3 people lined up: Mono, Greth, and Arcadizor, with the mines inside the base to prevent front-to-back grabs.
We've got Johnny and Streen sort of look like they're setting up for grabs on the right side as they look at it. Hindsight Master's going for some disruption on MVC. Streen's coming in for a grab.
And coming in high, and gets hit on the stand, but he's down to about 30% health, getting away. With guys in pursuit, I think.
There.
Yep, very, very low health, but it might actually make it. Bio makes a grab on the other side of the map. I think that was a back-to-front grab.
Looks like it's a bit of an E-grab there. How's you might pick this up?
Yeah, good chance of Gene Stealer interrupting Streen here, intercepting even. Streen, I think 1 hit to go, moving towards his flag stand.
MVC.
Joy coming from the front as well. Sniped out by Mobius. Flag falls to the floor. Going to be the turret is still up though, so this could be pretty significant in the next few seconds, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of Flatliners players incoming.
Gene Stealer gets blocked on the stand and trying to make an E-grab, and that's going to be a
going
first
for 1-0. Yeah, 1-0 away.
Bio just a bit too late there with his attempted E-grab. Yeah, I saw the Working as Intended really made a concerted effort to get everybody back and defend that flag and just make sure they kept the flag home. I didn't actually see how they returned their flag, but they did a really nice job of just defending their carrier and ensuring that they kept the enemy flag before anything else.
It's noticeable actually that despite their initial pressure on all the assets, the working as intended turrets are still up, as is the sensor and the gens.
It'd be interesting to see if they try and keep those up throughout the game. So we sort of started to see that become more of a valid tactic now.
Actually, that's true of the Flatliners base as well, apart from the sensor is down. So they've pretty much ignored these turrets. Meanwhile, the working intended flag was in the field, it's been returned. So both flags back on the stands. Hauser is setting out for a route now, I think, on the left side.
Flatliners defence is coping quite well with the offensive pressure coming in from work as intended. Streens looks like he's going to be setting up a grab, but he's a while away.
Interesting to note that although both of the working as intended cappers, I think Streen and Johnny are running Scrambler, we've only got Hauser running Scrambler for Flatliners today.
Interesting. Mono actually, I would expect him to
Hauser the grab, but blocked on the stand. Taken out by Samurai Raver.
Yeah, Mono actually playing Ranger, and he's a very good sniper, so interested to see why they're not sort of capitalising on that.
Stream with quite a slow grab off the stand. I think he's being chased down here though, they're going to fall in the field. Johnny may go for the pickup. Johnny picks it up, takes a hit, drops very low, Hensai's still with him though.
Ale with a grab here. Ooh, he gets taken down really quickly there. The working as intended defence early on here has really got it locked down and tight.
Seems to be more effective for them to play with 3 than for the Flats to play with 4.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Dean instead of going for the return, getting the flag back on the stand, still 1-0.
Getting a grab here, he's on about 90% HP, takes a thumper jump. That might have been a bad idea if he's going to get taken out by Mono, and he is.
Sniped by Arca actually. So.
Oh yeah, indeed.
This map has tended to favour way in the other games you've seen, where they've had it's a good clean vision for their snipers to actually.
Screen coming in with a pretty quick grab here. Oh,
taken out on the stand though.
Taken out, yeah. Nice work from Gene Stealer, the stealer of genes.
Hill is coming in from the back to front.
They still got the mines up in the middle. Ale making a walk grab off the stand, but it looks like they didn't quite see him there. If he gets a thumper jump in here, he might be able to get some distance across the map. I think what he needs here is a punt, you know.
Yeah, he's
getting a long way.
He might just take the time, you know.
All on Architects to snipe this one really, but it's going to be
flag
1-1.
Yeah. Oh, very tricky there with Johnny the Juice in the base. Lucky Slangerman, also known as Ale.
We have Stream coming in.
Doing a nice job of keeping their flags tight. Despite the 2 caps, I think they're.
No one understand there. Flats though, so Stream's going to get away full health. Good speed as well. Moving out towards the left side of the map.
This is Whiteout Nade. He got up to 200. They really need to do something about this because
there are flats across the map. By the way, Hentai Master's got his strike up now, I believe.
Yeah, he has indeed. And there's a grab from Fire.
On the stand, but he's taken out. Tanked out. Stream taking damage. Could go down here on the stand.
Play. Oh,
killed by Vice Lord, I think.
Taken out.
Ale inside the base. Vice for the return.
Vice with the return. Yeah.
Proving himself to be quite a clutch player for the big occasion.
We got to reset now, both.
They say, even without his shock lance, Vice is still capable of lightening up.
You don't get that kind of humour just anywhere, only on Hindsight TV. Hauser looks like he might be setting up for a grab here. He's got some height, so he's going to come down this hill. Nice speed.
The whole working and defenders are ready for him, I think.
Scrambler grabbing. Are they going to see him?
Oh, clean through. Hits the ship though. There's a lot of speed, but he's getting away still. I'm not sure they're aware of his grabs, actually.
Sniped there by Arkadizzle. Bio's there for the cover. Stream getting away though.
And although he's much lower health than Hauser. Hauser is all the way home. We have MBC and Johnny and Mono.
Hentai Master back
in. Trickle off the ship. Mono go for the return, very low health. Bio to pick it up. Great clutch pick up from between Johnny and Mono's faces.
They need some cover here. That Shrike's coming in. They really need to put some damage on that Shrike, or it's just going to cause them massive problems. Nice shot on the Shrike there.
I'm surprised they've not got their own Shrike up yet, actually.
Yeah, indeed.
Although Adro's lack of credits may be to blame for that.
Yeah, and their generator's also down at the moment.
This is a good point. So we're in a standoff situation.
Oh, taken out by Hentai Master there. They're going to pick this up, or is Johnny going to get the return? Oh, nice grab.
I thought another take.
Incoming orbital.
Orbital strike, that can only be Arkadizzle already, who's got 14k credits already.
Pressure coming in on the Y flag holder here, which is Greth. Although, Hauser's days.
MBC dropping low. Vice is going to lose the flag here, I think. The strike goes down, but Hentai Master's still alive.
Greth, and he goes down. Salachi maybe going to get the return here.
Needs one more thumper. No, Johnny makes the return.
Flatliners should get this returned really.
Hauser and Ale going for the flag. Seller to make a return there. Good play by Seller to get that flag. Stream gets the flag again though. Going away at quite low speed, directly across the map.
Actually using the arc buster to do a jump there. They're interesting. I've never seen that before.
Stream extremely low health though, and we have a strike up now for Ajora, is that? Yeah, Ajora takes him out. No one to return yet though, so he may have to fail.
Jump out of his...
And Steeler comes in, returns the flag. Both flags back on the stand, still 1-1. Good game so far.
Yeah, lots of flag action.
I notice now that the turrets have at last gone down against the flat turrets, and also working as intended turrets have gone down. So actually the back turret is still up for working as intended, so any grabs from the left side for flats may have to deal with that in their face.
Both generators up at the moment, possibly owing to the fact that they wanted to get strikes out. We'll see if either team's going to use that. And Hentai Master actually, just as I said that, putting out some turrets. You can imagine he's going to get a new strike.
Oh!
How's he
made a grab
grab?
attempt miss, but Stream getting through. Quite good
Fire
help.
from the front.
Quite low speed though, takes a snipe. And being intercepted by a drawer straight in the middle of the face, jeez. Ale returns the flag. Actually, I don't think we gave credit to Samurai over being on the flag, so there are actually 4 working intended players defending now.
Yeah, I think he was actually pushed on at the start, but now he's dropped into a defensive position. Perhaps they felt that they were letting too many grabs go, or you know, they just had too much pressure on the defence, and they've switched things up. It's quite a cagey game. At the moment.
The strikes just crashed into each other. Hentai Master and a drop plummeting to the ground and trying to kill each other.
Here comes Ale for a grab, it looks like. We've only got Salachi, they're making disruption. He's got 2 people to contend with on the flag here. I think
they're quite low health, but I think Ale's going to die.
Oh, he takes out Samurai Raver and he's away.
Nice hit by Ale. No one in pursuit really at the moment, and they haven't got a strike up either, have they?
No, it went down.
Oh yeah, they crashed into each other, like you said, yeah. Okay, Ale might make this home then, actually, for 2-1. I see Orbital's coming in on the flag stand, or at least attempting to. But it's going to be 2 caps to 1. Is that 2 caps for Ale now?
Yeah. So, Flatliners pulling it back after going 1 down early on. Not feeling sorry for themselves.
I think Hauser is coming in for another grab attempt on the left side. So away from that turret I was speaking about earlier. Playing Scrambler, it's arguable that the turrets matter less in terms of keeping them suppressed. What do you think about that, Miri?
Yeah, I think that it's one of those things that in this game it feels like you really have to commit to keeping the base up or not. Anyway, Stream
Hauser reports his grab attempt. I'm not sure if it was because he was sniped or it's a fake, but Ale is coming in from the other side. The left side, full face in that turret though.
Gene Stealer just coming over the hill here with some...
He grabs the flag.
Vice
stand there. Good disruption by Hauser.
A nice kill there for Flatliners chasers. They're going to return this.
You see
Mobius waiting there on the flag.
Only moved though, it could be very exposed.
But there's no one
I think only NPC is in any position. Mono actually now, I think take Mono out now, this should be a cap. Ale comes in for 3-1. That's a hat-trick for Ale.
So
we had on my notes I've got Ale puns fail, but seems to be really coming up big in this game.
Well, yeah, it seems that despite losing an early cap, the Flatliners have still got a pulse.
Whoa. How's he making a front-to-back grab in Scrambler, getting away with Mono like very close to him though. Bio in support though and Seller, so a good chance he gets home here actually. Mono goes down. Hauser is all on his own now, so I think just the sniper to deal with him, and there he goes. Arca takes him out. Bio should pick this up though, with Ajora coming in his strike. And yeah, they're getting away, but Streen is going full pace across the centre of the map.
That's got to be.
Hitting his stand, pass it off to Gref. Nice pass there on the stand, very good tight play. Beagle flag is returned, how? Was that another one of those flag bugs, making it 4-1 to Flatliners?
Yeah, interesting stuff. I didn't see how that...
Yeah, there was no flat player there that I could see. So a very unlucky cap.
It's interesting to see that the Flatliners is actually around 50 kills, while working as intended is up to 70 kills. So a big difference there, and still they're losing.
MVC and Arca are really lighting it up in terms of the kill count.
Yeah.
The wave flag is underneath the Flatliners base, and the Flatliners flag on the stand, so we could be seeing 5-1 here. Possible that unfortunate bug has really sapped their spirit in this particular map. Bio goes in for 5-1, and that's going to be a cap out for Flatliners.
You'd have to say, despite that bug, that Flatliners were really in a state of having much more momentum there, and I think they are in the position to take it home anyway. It's obviously unfortunate to see things like that happen.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see it happening once a game now, really.
Yeah,
I mean, it seemed like a very random event when it first happened, but now it starts to be quite common. Again, though, it happens immediately once the flag has been passed or dropped, I think, so something to do with splash would be worth investigating.
Indeed. Any thoughts on the way that the two teams approached that map, EJ?
Well, I think one thing I noticed was that it didn't really look like they had a real strategy for standoffs. It was sort of, just throw it at the nearest guy when you're almost dead. Flatliners jumping around on top of the base while working as intended had a shrag out. So that's definitely an area where they could probably improve by thinking about how to do that. But in general, it seemed. I think the most interesting thing here again is to see that at some point the cap wheel of Flatliners really started to work. Again, they don't have very many kills compared to working as intended, but they got that disruption to work, and they could then just grab with impunity. And again, they got away from the stand, and they had that. You don't need that much speed on this map to actually get home, and they had just enough.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a big thing to notice here that it was just this constant grinding pressure from the Flatliners offense. They just didn't give up, and they didn't, sort of go away from their game plan. They thought, right, if we just keep grabbing this flag, they're going to crumble, and it paid off because I think whether or not it was a mistake by us saying they had 3D at the start, but they definitely had 4 defense, after about 5-10 minutes. So if that was a switch up, then that was, perhaps a response to all these grabs coming in from Flatliners, and as we can see from the win, it paid off in the end.
What I really think worked well for Flats there was that they went from having Hauser making these scrambler grabs early on, which weren't being that productive, to just making pure disruption. But they were very much tunneling him when they saw a man coming in. I think the sniper would probably call him out, and then the D were looking right at Hauser, and then A would come in Ranger, which is very visible, and just make the grab and get home.
Yeah.
It seems
So
the server went down in the meanwhile. Bart?
We weren't going to draw attention to it, Mim, but yeah, it seems the server is in fact gone down.
Well, I was about to ask if Bart knows anything about the ETA on this. If he's still here.
Grayed out, which I think means he is muted. I'm not.
I think
the Skype Pro.
the server might be available again sometime around after the new patch.
After that jumper love that's come in.
Okay, well, in the meantime then, I suppose we can pick up our discussion on general game balance at this point.
Okay, hold on. I'm getting all my sounds back together.
Hello, Bart.
There we go. Okay. Looks like servers are down. Is that the case?
Why you break it, Bart?
Okay. I just saw someone running around, so my guess is that we're trying to fix it. Let me go sort it, and I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, in the meanwhile, we're going to take down the stream for just a second for editing purposes later on. Refresh in about 2 seconds. Be right back.